Hello, MGTOW. It is the MGTOW Recluse, being reclusive, very much so. So, for the topic of this video, I would like to talk to you about resiliency and emergence, emerging out of the depths of the darkness and becoming your true self. So, when it comes down to resiliency, here lately I've been working more. I took some time off, about a month ago, or I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something. And I was off of work for maybe a good 4 or 5 months, 4.5 months. And now that I'm going back into the 4A, I have noticed that my ability to deal and cope with people and situations is greater. I really do feel that when it comes to seeing people for who they are and accepting them for who they are and moving on, my ability to cope is there, and that's a wonderful thing. Now, I have a few tools to my disposal here, and I'd like to share them with you. I feel like as a MGTOW content creator, it's kind of all of our jobs to make sure that we enable each other. So I've been abstaining from alcohol and marijuana. I suppose my dopamine levels are leveled off, I suppose, just at a normal level. So there's that. And I've been taking supplements. I got a few right here, I can tell you. I've been taking turmeric for high blood pressure, so I'm not like on edge all the time. Got beetroot, that's for heart health. Got some more turmeric. Let's see, St. John's wort. I think that takes a while for it to accumulate into your system. Got some dandelion root. I think there might be something behind dandelion root. I think we have historically been taking that. Garlic, that's another heart thing. I got high blood pressure, that's why I'm taking heart things. But Sam E, that's for mood, I suppose. I want to say another one. I think that's all of them for now. Yeah, and taking these supplements, I think, have been very beneficial, combined in conjunction with going to the gym. I've been to the point where I'm looking forward to the gym very much. I'm skipping today. I got my coffee. Also been really looking forward to my personal time before work. That's what I'm doing now. I go in in a few hours, and I have relegated this time to really drink coffee. Oh, another thing I've been doing, on top of going to the gym and taking supplements, I've been going outside. I have been blessed with a string of very sunny days. It's very typically summer outside. So this is what I do. I take off my shoes, I go outside, I put my feet on the ground. There's this place in my backyard where there's an exposed root. You know how sometimes tree roots kind of emerge out of the, kind of like how I'm emerging out of my funk, the root emerges to the surface. So I have a chair that I sit out there, and I take off my sandals and I put my feet on the ground. I used to listen to this one YouTuber, Pockets of the Future, kind of talking about the spiritual, esoteric side of conspiratorial. He started talking about a lot of things wrong with Hollywood and stuff like that. I think that he got a little bit more focused in what was going on with the media. But hey, you do what you got to do to get views, I suppose. But that's beside the point. He recommended sun gazing, which is not just straight up looking at the sun. It's waiting until, how the sun emerges. You look at the sun for the first initial 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. That's when before the sun reaches the apex where it, you're not supposed to just stare at the sun and dry your eyeballs out and all that, get blind. But I'm kind of adverse to it. I'm not used to looking at the sun, but I will look at the plants, things that refract off the sun. Not straight up reflections, but just looking at the photosynthesis, just looking at the whole greenery, looking at the whole nature. So I put my feet on the ground, and what I'm doing essentially is absorbing the energy from the sun to the ground, from the ground to me, and there's that. And I take off my shirt. I'm very modest. I don't do that very often, but I do it when I feel like no one's around. I have enclosures, so I don't think my neighbors are looking. They wouldn't care anyway. Plus, nobody cares about a guy not wearing a shirt anyway. You know what I mean? But still, I still have modesty. But yeah, I get sun exposure. So I got direct sun exposure. I'm out there with a cup of coffee, and I count 10 things that I am grateful for. And attitude of gratitude really does make a difference. And when you're thinking about things and your mind just goes off in every which way, you're typically just depressed. Sometimes you got those people that you just can't help but think about, and you get consumed with thinking about them. But if you give your problems to God, if you're religious, that worked for me. And if you find one thing about the person you hate the most, or anybody that you just don't really like, if you just find one thing that you like about them, that kind of helps turn the tables a little bit. Yeah, I got tools to my disposal. Been going to the gym. I think I needed a rest day, and that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I've been focused on my other channel. Haven't been posting as much. This is somewhat of a journal entry. I will stay on point here, but then I'll segue to it. I don't know. I might just stay on point this time. But yeah, with resiliency, I have been, with the nature of my job, working with the public, and I had to deal with a customer yesterday, and of course it was female, right? You can see these things coming. They're going to give you a hard time. And I was thinking how it's a blessing in disguise how they give us a hard time, because I had a negative experience with her, but I didn't take it home with me. And the old me would have gotten kind of eaten up about it, and it would have turned the tables. It would have made me upset. But I've been thinking a whole lot about how society gives us pressure and how women don't experience this pressure. They're shielded from it. And how I would very much rather be a man than a woman, despite all of the crap we get dealt. My ability to cope and deal, I'm just an incredible person by the, by the end result. Us men, a lot of us are focused on the negative. A lot of the MGTOW community is just about negativity and just spreading knowledge about how females are, and that's fine, but to not address ways that we can be content and happy with our lives without women, that focus is what I'm wanting to see more in the MGTOW community, and more positivity in general. So yeah, I'm kind of losing my track here, but being resilient with these interactions with women, I think expecting it is something that is really good. And yeah, these experiences are helping me emerge. We're being strong from the horrible stimulus that we're exposed to, and then we don't see it coming, but we are coming to. We're waking up. We're getting out. We're emerging. And I used to smoke marijuana. I used to drink alcohol. I used to not exercise. And now that I'm getting more into these better, healthier habits, and looking forward to posting YouTube videos, I got another channel. I've been really enjoying doing that. I've been keeping myself busy. And, old people, they'll say, yeah, staying busy, haha, yeah. Like they'll, encourage staying busy. Yeah, I mean, that it is a good thing to stay busy. It is really uncovering my own side of myself that I didn't realize was there. Because growing up, I had low self-esteem. I didn't exercise. I ate junk food a lot. I was really kind of a victim of my own reality. And I feel like as men, we are the authors of our own reality, and we acknowledge that we are the authors of our own reality, because females are just perpetual victims. You can't help but to compare us to women. Women aren't really comparable to us because, anyway, that's a whole nother thing. I was going to make another video about genitalia, about how the way you feel about your own genitals really kind of molds your reality, because being a circumcised man, I feel like I have to overcome things. But if I didn't have to overcome these things, would I be as deep and spiritual? You know what I mean? And yeah, I think a lot of women probably have low self-esteem because they view their vaginas as, you know what I mean? Like how you feel about your own genitalia. That's that is a really big topic, and I think that's definitely a video I'd like to partake in, and going into. I think going there when it comes to that kind of stuff. I saw this one video about liberation, why it kind of shook the foundation of how I view genitalia. We'll just leave it at that. But so there's that, and going to the gym, taking supplements, going outside, getting sun exposure, staying busy, uploading YouTube stuff. These things are great, and emerging. I don't know. It's just I can't help but to promote the tools to my disposal. If you have anything that makes you happy, hobbies. Just being addicted to the red pill stuff online. I mean, I think there's a time and place for that, sure. But after you get an overdose of red pills, you really do just become a red pill, I guess. You internalize it. And resiliency, emergence. Other than that, I just kind of wanted to add. I won't keep you for much longer, but sometimes I need customers to sign receipts, so I hand over a pen. Sometimes they steal my pens, but a lot of times when they hand me back my pen, they don't retract it. And I've noticed that more men, they retract the pen. You know how the end of the pen sticks out. They just click it. A lot of women just hand it back, and if you're sloppy, like you can get ink on your hand and stuff if you're passing pens around. And I just thought it was kind of a funny thing. I had a coworker that stole one of my pens. It was a new guy, and he said, "Yeah, can I use one of your pens?" And he just said something flippant about getting more pens. But I have the expensive Pilot G7s, and those are more of the top end pens. I kind of pride myself in having a professional demeanor at work, and the dude stole my pen, and I've noticed that overweight men and elderly men, they are typically more, I don't know, their minds aren't as keen as they need to be, and they have more female tendencies. Like I was behind a man in a line when I was at a store, and he was playing with a credit card. He was holding the line back, and I was like, wow, okay, all right, yeah, guys can do this too. So this overweight guy, he stole my pen, and this is the thing. I decided not to get mad. This is a part of my resilience thing. The old me would get mad and make social interactions weird. But instead of even addressing, hey man, you stole my pen, I'm just not going to let him borrow another pen ever again. And that's the thing. That's how I operate. I had another coworker that was they called in, and I helped them, like they had to call in and they kept calling in, like not showing up to work, and I've worked for them, right? And then they asked me one time to help them, and I just said no. I don't owe you anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm not your you know what I mean? Like I'll give you all the rope that you need to hang yourself. But I know that's a weird little tangent. I just thought I'd like to add that in somewhere. So I appreciate you. And resiliency and emergence, just our ability to get out of our own funk by, I don't know, just replacing habits with better habits. So, all right. Yeah, I appreciate you. This has been the MGTOW Recluse, and thank you so much.